Maciek, how are you?
Hi, Katrin. I'm good. Finally, we are meeting for a session to talk about marketing and data science. How about we start with quick introductions? You have been my major stakeholder for data science delivery for over a decade now, and you've been managing teams responsible for acquiring and retaining customers in the largest Irish companies. From my perspective, you're always pushing to extract maximum value from the data, which makes working with you very demanding, but also incredibly rewarding because we can see our efforts put to good use.
Thank you for that introduction. And I suppose, I've known you since kind of back in our days in telecoms. It's great to find somebody who, kind of from a data science perspective, who understands the commercial side.
Thank you very much, Katrin. I think we can kick this off then. So you separated 3 stages of customer lifecycle. Let's start with the first one, customer acquisition. How would you approach it and what is most important?
Questions that you need to kind of ask at this stage is, do you actually have this systematic pipeline for future sales and future leads? Do you have somewhere where that data is stored? And then within the different tools or systems that are available, to make sure that you have reporting in place so that you can see the movement of the sales through the stages.
It is absolutely vital to aggregate as many touch points as possible in the central data store.
And it's a huge hindrance when you don't know anything about those new customers, or there's bits of data that you should have collected at the beginning and you spend a lot of time at the end.
It's an ongoing process. It's about striking the 80-20 rule at first and expand later.
So it's really imperative at the early stages to really make sure that the sales team are really good at getting new data on customers and really good quality data. And that helps you understand more about the new customers that you have, and then leads you into much better growth and retention of those customers.
Another common challenge is related to linking multiple footprints to a particular person. It's one more example of work executed on an ad hoc basis multiple times, instead of having it done properly in production. But let's say we aggregated our most important data in one place. What can we do for you next?
So that's a really good question of what's next. And what you need to do is determine with the sales force that you have, what are the priorities and which leads are the most important, which ones do you work on first? Do you have a tiering system? So is there logic or a tiering system in place to kind of take those leads and look at what's the best and what are the worst? What are the ones that you leave behind and what are the ones that you go for?
We can support marketing and sales in 2 major ways. One is profiling of successful conversions, where we stack up the successes versus failures, and we are looking for the differences. What makes them different? What kind of profiles convert better? It's a good step to the second type of analysis, where we build a model. So the model combines all the characteristics and finds the correlations. And once the model is deployed, it gives us propensity scores, and we can sort our lead lists by the score. And on the top of the list, there are leads with the highest probability of converting. And at the bottom, there are leads that will not convert. Now, the challenge that we find here is to communicate that to the sales team, the value of that.
I need to emphasize that you need to bring the sales team on this journey as well when you're building the prioritization of the leads for them. And really what you're trying to ask here is, how do you know if what you are making is the right decisions for your channels and your marketing mix? And can models help this?
Yes, they can. There are 3 main analytical techniques that can help us here. The most accurate is A/B testing. It's a gold standard in evaluating marketing campaigns, and we'll talk about it a bit more later. Unfortunately, not all marketing initiatives can be split between clean test and control groups. For instance, when we have funnels with complex customer journeys that we can't fully control. But if we can track those individual journeys, then we can use attribution modeling to evaluate impact of the touch points, such as emails, webinars, white papers, and so on. Lastly, some big ticket spend, such as media directed at the wider audience, can be evaluated using marketing mix modeling, sometimes called media mix modeling.
The early stages of acquisition, a lot of the time, kind of people move on and don't kind of look back in terms of that critical assessment of what is working for my campaign, what is working, and am I spending in the right ways. And there's lots of things that you can do from a testing perspective, looking at A/B testing to test whether things are working, but having models to really look in detail at your marketing activity at those early stages of acquisition is really, really important.